So I toyed with lots of different colours. I wanted something that would look classic. The difficult thing is with the minis, and obviously like the series that I'm in, is there's so many colours that have already been done, and I wanted something that was different and that there wasn't another one like it, so that if you do happen to be watching the racing, you'll definitely know that it's my car. So what I've ended up with is oh, it looks good. This mushy pea green, obviously. Right then, that is 3 coats on there. Some bits have come out really good, mainly the flat bits. I did the first coat kind of light, and then did 2 heavy coats. So I noticed the paint sort of looking kind of like that matte dry look as it was going on, and it seemed to be a bit thick. So when I did the last coat, I thinned it out just to get it to sort of flow a bit better, which did seem to help. But I do have some paint runs sagging all here, running there. Big old drip there. Roof's probably the best bit. So when I came to do this side, the first coat, it spat a load of water out of the airline. And I was left with just, you could see it was water all over it. So I tried to get it off by using some masking tape and just sort of touching the sticky side of the masking tape on it, and it did seem to be able to remove it. And then when I came to do the last coat, you could still see basically there was like a big patch here and a patch there, So when I did the last coat, I really tried to fill the you know, all the little like indentations in, and now we've got this huge avalanche paint run there and there, and it runs all the way down to here, so that's a shame. The issue I had last time when I had a lot of paint runs was I ended up rubbing through to the primer trying to get them out, and that was why I ended up painting the whole car twice. So I'm going to be extra careful this time and try to get all that out without rubbing through, but I'll leave it all masked up, and you know, worst case scenario, I'll have to paint this bit again. So it's not come out as well as last time. It's just not as like uniform. There's some bits that look really orange peely and almost like there's not enough paint, and then there's bits where it's settled really nicely. Hopefully if I can get those paint runs out, it should be fine. It's good enough for a race car anyway. I don't mind a few imperfections. Obviously I don't want huge paint sags or anything like that, but we do have a few issues with the panels I painted first. So I'm not sure if you can see, but there's loads of tiny little holes that go all the way down to the primer. On this panel there, mainly in this bottom section here, and I noticed when I was priming it, it did the same thing with the primer. So once the primer was dry, I just filled all the little holes in along the top. So it had them all along this top edge as well. Dotted them all in with just a little brush, and then sanded the primer back flat. I didn't get any of them come through here. I didn't fill any of these ones, so they've come through the paint as well. And on the bonnet, the whole bonnet was covered in, I've sanded this, so just trying to see if I can get it out, but it's going to be difficult for the camera to see now I've sanded it. But the whole bonnet is covered in all these tiny little craters. Can't really see it, but anyway, all these little tiny craters, that bit there was where a big fly landed on it, which I had to hook out. The same thing happened with the primer, which I dotted it in with a little brush. And I was chatting to Gareth from Transpares about it, and he said he thought it looked like silicone, that I'd been spraying something with silicone. I've been using this, which is basically a silicone spray. So when it came to painting the car, I used some of this anti-silicone stuff. You just put a tiny bit of it in with the paint, and I've not had one of those holes come up anywhere on the whole car, so I do think that's obviously what it was, so that's good. The little imperfections on here I'm not worried about. The rest of it, all the top bits here, have actually come out good. You know, the few imperfections on the bonnet, once it's polished it's going to be fine. You can't really see it unless you get up close. And the reason I don't really care about it is because I spent such a long time redoing over things with this car, trying to make sure everything was as good as I could possibly get it. And if you look up close at this, it's just peppered with stone chips from driving on track, all over it. Mainly Thruxton that's from. It's got like a really loose surface that's not very good, and it flicks up. I've had 2 windscreens smashed there, but you know, it flicks stones up and chips everything all up this side of the arch here. underneath here. Yeah. All those are stone chips. It's all beating all the paint off the back of here. So yeah, that's why I'm not really too fussed about a few little imperfections, because these things are just built for purpose. It's, I'm not into going to car shows and polishing the car. I build them to use them for their purpose, which is just to go and smash it around the racetrack. So all these areas around here that have got imperfections, it's pointless, because this is all going to get chipped and probably smashed at some point anyway. So as long as it looks presentable, then that's good enough. So yeah, I'm happy with it anyway. It's well, it could have gone better. I would be happier if it didn't have a load of paint runs in it. Some bits come out really good, some bits didn't. The interior is going to be white, or the same colour as that one, which is, it's actually a really light grey, kind of off-white. Not really looking forward to doing the interior. That's the hardest part, and I've kind of done it backwards really, painting the outside first, but I wanted to do the easiest bits first to get back into the swing of painting. It's good to see it in colour. It's good for motivation, and I should have some news on the engine pretty shortly. It's basically done. John at Specialist Components has got it built up. It's going on the dyno any day, or within the next week, I think. So as soon as I've got some video footage of that and a bit more information on it, I will update that, but it's looking really good. There's some pictures of it on my Instagram. There's also, you can go on John's Instagram, Specialist Components. He's put a few pictures of the engine up on there if you do want to have a look. So yeah, that's that. Thanks again, Transpares, for supplying all the paint. If you want to know any information about any of the stuff that I've used, then give Gareth a shout. He will be able to fill you in on all the different products and whatnot. I'll put his details in the description box. That's going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.